Hi viewers, I hope you got good value from my last video which was based on heavy periods troubling young women. Today I am going to go to the other extreme, women who have reached menopause, how to tackle if they have bleeding. So that is what we are going to talk. In medical terms, we call this as post-menopausal bleeding, which is getting abnormal bleeding after somebody has reached menopause. So what is menopause? Menopause, if you split that word, you have the word menopause. So menses pause. Periods has stopped. So that is the literal meaning of the word menopause. But in medical terms, we have a definition wherein a woman who has reached age 40 and above, if she has not had periods at all for one whole year, then we declare that she has reached menopause. So any bleeding that happens after 1 year of no periods is supposed to be abnormal. We look at it with suspicion. If you look at the reasons why such bleeding happens, most of it is hormonal. Some of it could be a suspicious or a dangerous reason like conditions preceding cancer or cancer itself. Okay, the minute I utter the word cancer, I can see most of you have a reaction. You're startled, you're shocked, because cancer is a word that no one likes to hear, and it just it incites a lot of reaction and fear, which I understand. Okay, that is the precise reason why I'm talking about this condition today, so that if someone has this issue, they are supposed to see the doctor as soon as possible and evaluate everything, find out what is going on, and make sure they are healthy. Okay, that is the premise from which I'm making this video today. So if you look at the numbers, say for example, if 100 women come to me with this pattern where they have bled after reaching menopause, only 1 to 2% of them will have a serious problem. 10% of them will have a condition preceding cancer, which we called as precancerous conditions. 90% of them will have nothing to worry. So for us to find out that 10%, rather the 1 to 2%, we actually have to do tests for all the 100. So 90% of women will go back with the reassurance that nothing serious is happening. And the basic test that we do is after the initial history taking, wherein we gain information about their medical history, about their family history, what are the risk factors, what is their weight, do they have conditions like diabetes, high BP or cholesterol, what is their weight. All these factors help us make a risk assessment. We also look at the previous bleeding patterns, and they look at the previous available scans, look at the previous test reports of pap smears, which are cervical cancer screening tests, meaning tests that are done to detect precancerous conditions of the cervix, which is the mouth of the uterus. So this is all done in the assessment, and two specific tests are done. One is a ultrasound scan, which is commonly called as scan or sonogram, where we look at the internal organs, the uterus and the ovaries, to see what is happening. And in particular, we measure the inner lining of the uterus called endometrium, and we have a cutoff of 5 millimeter, above which it is abnormal. And we may also find other structures which are involved. Say for example, is there any tumor in the uterus or in the ovary? Sometimes we pick up conditions unrelated to the complaint also. And we also repeat or do the pap smear test as part of this evaluation. And once we get this information, we decide what to do next. Most of the time, we tend to take a part of the bit of the endometrium or the lining of the uterus to test under the microscope to find out what are the cells doing, what are the changes happening. As a confirmatory thing, we need that. There are two ways of doing it. One is, as we talk, in the time that we have spoken, we could have easily done a simple test called endometrial biopsy, where the woman is examined, of course with privacy, where we see the mouth of the uterus and put in a small straw-like instrument inside the mouth of the uterus, and by just pulling it like a piston, it's like a straw that we use to drink juice. It's like that. It will draw cells or fluid inside the uterus. It will be sent for testing. This is simple endometrial office biopsy, which is like a 2-minute noodle procedure like thing. I'm just making this comparison so that it's easy for us to understand. It is as simple as a 2-minute cooking procedure like. Okay. Of course, not everybody can go through this. Of course, there are certain conditions where this may not be suitable for you. The other procedure is called hysteroscopy, which is a more detailed procedure which gives us more information, and it involves anesthesia and involves hospital stay and will involve all the tests that you need to do before a surgery. Okay, it can be a test as in finding out what is going wrong. It can also be a treatment if we find a cause that can be treated at the same time. So hysteroscopy literally means we look into the uterus through a same instrument, like a straw instrument, at the tip of which a camera is attached, and we see the inner lining of the uterus, make a complete assessment, and if we find some area which is not looking normal, we take a test and send it for testing. Okay, if we find something abnormal and if the removal of it is going to be a complete treatment, then we could also do it at the same time. So I'm hoping that in today's video you get the message that a woman who has reached menopause, that is a woman after 40 years who has stopped getting periods for 1 year, should not bleed. And if she bleeds, she should not hesitate to seek medical help, and she must see a doctor as soon as possible. Go through all the tests to find out what is happening. There is a 1 to 2% chance of a serious problem. There's a 10% chance of having a precancerous condition, and most of the time there is nothing to worry. But that nothing to worry tag can be applied only after doing all the proper tests. So please keep watching this space, and the next video I'm planning to do for the women who are in between the spectrum. We have seen the young and the postmenopausal group, so we will cover the in between age group in the next video. Until then, bye bye, take care.